Have the starters for Pokemon Legends ZA just been leaked? Well, you better get your knackly ready to shake, as we have a new 4chan leak that is once again claiming to know the Legends ZA starters, along with a whole bunch of other random information about the highly anticipated upcoming game. Like a large majority of other leaks originating from 4chan, this has a high probability of being fake, but we have seen real leaks show up on 4chan in the past, such as the first look at the Pokemon Let's Go games. So in this video, we will be looking at the Japanese text in the photo that was posted with this leak, translating it, and seeing if the Japanese can either totally debunk this leak or make it slightly more credible. We will also have a quick look at what this supposed leak is supposedly leaking. So this rumored leak is posted with the timestamp of Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, with the simple title of Legends ZA. The image attached to this post shows a Tepig from behind with its tail lit up. On this image there are 4 lines of Japanese text. The line at the top reads, "The first three." This word is saisho and means first. This word is often used by Pokemon fans to refer to the first Pokemon chosen in a journey. And here is read as Sambiki, with this kanji being used as a counter. Using the number 3 instead of the kanji for free is a choice, but not odd enough to think too deeply on. The next line simply reads Pokabu, the Japanese name for Tepig. The third line states, local communication and internet communication compatible. And finally, the last line reads, Embor Kalos form. The word here to describe the regional form of Embor, Kalos no Sugata. This is the correct term for referring to regional forms of Pokemon from certain areas. All in all, the Japanese used here is all pretty standard and nothing overly complicated. The correct use of the term no Sugata is interesting, as it is probably not a term that would be as easy to find on Google as the Japanese names for Pokemon, but by no means would it be impossible. Additionally, the random inclusion of the text talking about local and internet connection being included in this image, which is primarily focused on Tepig being the starter, with Embor gaining a regional form, well, it kind of stands out as being so unrelated. This section of the video is being recorded at a different time because I received an interesting message from an anonymous Japanese associate on X who shared their thoughts on the font used in this image. As a native Japanese speaker, they felt like the font used in this image was strange. For this text, only the number is bold, while the hiragana and kanji are rather thin. Additionally, the style of the font is just kind of off. They go on to say that the rest of the font seems a bit different than usual, but it isn't out of place and fits a game introduction. The font used is likely UDP Gothic, but usually the words and the numbers are uniformly thin. Moving on to the Pokabu text, the font here appears to be Noto Sans JP, a font that is commonly used in modern business settings. But the little circle in this hiragana is thin and awkward. Although they couldn't guess the font for this part of the text, they did note that the ru in local is distinctive, as is the n in Embor's name in this text. All of this is worth taking into consideration while debating this leak's legitimacy. But at the end of the day, there is no huge mistakes in this that make it 100% debunkable because of the Japanese alone. Now let's have a super quick look at the English text from this leak. Apparently there are 2 rivals, with one being from Paldea. Along with the rivals, the player works for the redevelopment team, with each person focused on a different aspect of Lumio City. There are roughly double the amount of side quests compared to Legends Arceus. Completing these increases your trainer rank, which will allow you to access more areas. A decade has passed since the original XY games, and the energy spread through Kalos by the ultimate weapon has caused some Pokemon to adapt differently during that time. Mega Zygarde is said to look like the letter A, and Infinity Energy is a key component in the games. Rather than gyms, there are battle cafes. which featured the return of some XY gym leaders. There are a handful of new regional Pokémon and about 18 new Mega Evolutions. The starters are said to be Tepig with a Grass Steel regional evolution, Tepig with a Fire Ground regional evolution, and Sobble with a Water Psychic regional evolution. It's also said that the original Kalos starters can Mega Evolve. Lastly, the poster claims that we will see a trailer on Pokémon Day, going on to say that they don't know why people are expecting a trailer in January, and that Legend ZA will release on the current Switch, without a version for the Switch 2. Honestly, most of this is pretty believable. Nothing is too out of left field or too far-fetched. Although a handful of regionals along with roughly 18 new Mega Evolutions feels like a lot, would the Pokémon Company really give us so many new designs for a Legends game? Also, the idea of removing gyms for battle cafes, but still including some of the original gym leaders is definitely a choice. If Legends ZA follows the framework set by Legends Arceus, it's likely also to focus less on Pokémon battles. So in that case, a less serious battle cafe would make sense. But at the same time, the importance of Pokémon battling was mentioned in the first part of the text. In conclusion, this is a more believable leak than others, and there is nothing terribly wrong with the Japanese language used. For double confirmation, I also had Sol look at the image to confirm and get a second opinion, and he agreed. But with this being a 4chan leak, it's still most likely fake, so grab your knackly and keep shaking. But what do you think? Let me know your opinions on this rumored leak in the comments below. And while you're at it, please be sure to like and subscribe. And also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider checking out some of my other videos. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye. Mata ne.